Alright guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be looking at the championship predictions for 2019-2020, and I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, there's already been 5 games played. I know, but I've been moving house, it's a bit late, who really cares? To be fair, it makes it a little bit different from the other ones that have been going about because I've had a chance to see what the start of the season's going to be like, you know, and it gives me sort of more of an idea of how teams are going to do. As you may well have noticed, because it's like late and stuff, I'm not going to go specifically into like who's going to be 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th or whatever. But what I've done is I'm doing it on tier maker again just because it's nice and easy. We've got automatics, playoffs, missed out on playoffs, mid-table, just survive, and then relegation. So it pretty much sums it up anyway. Like, I don't think it matters who's 17th and 18th and blah blah because you probably get about 2 right anyway. But before we get into it, I just want to shout out our sponsors at OneFootball. Go and check them out if you haven't already. It's an amazing football app with everything you need all in one place. The link is down in the description. If you do want to try it out, make sure you do and let me know what you thought of it in the comments. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So for this, I'm not going to go too in-depth. I'm not going to look too much at the details of the season so far because I want to just go off my gut and where I think they're going to finish. There will be some factors where I've noticed things this season, especially with Blues. But I'm going to try not to delve into it too much. I want it to be a sort of rough prediction of what I think is going to happen, and I know things can change very easily. I don't like to write a team off when they come up. I think they could just survive. But for me, it's finding another 2 teams that are worse than them in the league, and I can't really do that at the minute. We have already played them this season. They did look fairly solid at the back. I don't think they're going to go down like rock bottom. I think it might go to the last 2 or the final game. But Barnsley, I'm thinking if they can get the goals this season, they might have a chance of staying up. They've got Malik Wilkes, Connor Chaplin, players like that. If they can really kick on this season, because they are fairly young players, if they can find their feet, kick on, get scoring some goals, I think they will have a chance of staying up. It's just whether it might be just slightly too soon for that and where the goals are going to come from for Barnsley, from my point of view anyway. Now, Blackburn went and signed Sam Gallagher, who was a player that he was on loan at Blues, looked pretty good, highly valued by Southampton at the time. Managed to make his way down to Blackburn, who I think he had a loan spell with. So if he can really find his feet, because it did take him a while to find his feet at Blues, I think he could score a few goals for them. I think Blackburn aren't going to be mid-table. They've had a fairly good start to the season, but I think they're going to be around the just survive area. Maybe mid-table. Maybe it's in between these two. I'm going to put just survive for now. No, I'm going to put mid-table. I just don't think that. Nah, they're going to be. I'm going to put them in just survive. They do, you know, they've still got Bradley Dack, who's a quality player, but does he have enough quality around him for me? I'm not really sure, to be honest. They've had a fairly good start to the season, though, so could be wrong, but so have we, and I'd probably put us in a similar position, if anything. And that leads me on to my next team quite easily. So it's Birmingham City. Made a lot of signings, complete change of style, complete change of the way we play football. How long is it going to take before it clicks or before our owners lose interest and sack Pep Clottit? I think it's going to be a tricky and tough season for Birmingham this season. But by the looks of it, it looks like we will invest in January. For that reason, I'm going to put us just in mid-table, but low mid-table. You know what I mean? So like almost in between, just survive and mid-table. Like we're here, but I'm going to put it mid-table just to be slightly optimistic. The reason for that is because we've already got 7 points on the board. We've been playing terribly, but if it clicks, if it works, I think we've got pretty good players. We've had a pretty good transfer window, and I think hopefully we can avoid that relegation battle this season. On to Brentford. Brentford do look good. Obviously Pontus Jansson was one of the big signings. Brentford obviously lost Malpai, which was a big loss. I did have them to go around sort of playoff area, but it's like where are them goals going to come from, if you know what I mean. I feel like missed out on playoffs potentially. I just think it's going to take a while to get back those goals. You know, they could have easily beaten us. They decided not to play Malpai because they're about to sell him. But if he was on the pitch, they would have easily beaten us. And is that going to be their problem this season? Is it going to be the fact that they're not going to have the goals in them? Yeah, for me, they're just lacking that real firepower, which is probably why I'm going to put them mid-table, but not where Blues are, like high end of mid-table. Bristol City, I'm going to put in the just missing out on playoffs area. They had a really good transfer window, I think, getting Benicophobe as well. We were close to landing him, but they sort of nicked him out of our hands. They looked pretty good when they played us. Afobe didn't really have his shooting boots on that day, and Lee Camp, to be fair to him, I think it's more credit to Lee Camp for the saves. If it weren't for his heroics, they would have easily beaten us, but they've already got 10 points on the board. They're doing okay. Yeah, I'm going to put them in just, I don't know actually. No, you know what, I've changed my mind. I'm moving them down to mid-table. No particular reason. I just think maybe high end of mid-table. It's tricky. I'm going to rearrange these once I've put the other teams in there. Cardiff City, they look okay. They look pretty good. They've just come down from the Premier League. I think Cardiff are going to just miss out on the playoffs. There's no doubt that they've got a strong squad, but it always proves difficult for teams that have just come down from the Premier League to actually bounce straight back up. I know there's a fairly good chance they could get in the playoffs, but I think there's it takes some sort of time to get adjusted to Championship football again. Like, you have to flick this switch to go from losing every game to winning every game, and it's just difficult to change that mentality so quickly. Charlton Athletic, I do rate Lee Bowyer. I think he's a quality manager, and he's already proving that he started so well this season. I think he's going to be in the mid-table zone as well. I'm going to pop them there. It's just proper Brexit football with Charlton, and it's like, you sort of love to see it. I love to see a team come up from League One and do well. It's like Millwall as well, when they almost got in the playoffs that time. But they are having another good season. You never know. There's always, the thing is, it's always open, because there's so many teams that just could get in the playoffs if things go their way. It's so open, and it's really hard to call. You can't really call it. Look at it. Someone's made this right. They've put the Derby County logo in, but it says Derby County 0. Who's cheekily done that, eh? He's a little Forest fan. Yeah, I'm going to put Derby to miss out on the playoffs. They do look a good side, but there's been a lot of change. I think they're an alright side, and to be fair, if they put a run together, they could definitely get in the playoffs. But for me, I think there are some better teams around there, and one of them being Nottingham Forest, who do look like quite the force this season, and they've just beaten Derby 3-0 in the cup as well. They, for me, are going to get in the playoffs. They just, they obviously had this big spending. I think it was last summer. It takes a while for the players to gel, but it looks like they finally seem to be ticking. Like, they could have put 6 past Blues. They look like what the Blues owners actually want. So yeah, they do look like a force to be reckoned with. They've got quality up front. Joe Lolly's still there as well. I hate the fact that he always scores against us, but he's a good player. Graben as well. Carvalho is really coming out of his shell as well this season. And a surprise one for me was Sammy Amiobi. Like, he just seems to be like a different player at Forest. But yeah, like they really do seem to be playing good football. And I think they have got a really good chance of getting in the playoffs. This can all move at the end, by the way. I'm going to reassess it after. Fulham, I think it's a tricky one. I think Fulham, they've just come down again. Their attack looks amazing. They've got a good team, but again, it's switching that mentality from losing all the time to winning. Can they do that? I'm not sure if they're going to be a playoffs team or an automatics team. I'm going to put them in automatics right now just because of their attack. It is just absolutely unreal. Mitro up front, Ivan Cavallero, Tom Kearney. They did have, has they got Session on still? The Knockout as well, absolutely unreal. They have got a solid team and a promising young manager in Scott Parker, and I do think that they could get the automatics. Speaking of another team who've come down who aren't doing so well at the minute, let's have a look at Huddersfield. They currently sit second bottom with just 1 point, and you've got to think it can't continue. It can't continue like this, surely. I think they're one of the teams that really got hit the hardest with relegation. I think they're going to be in mid-table, Huddersfield. I think they will pick themselves up. They're not going to get near the playoffs, I don't think. It's going to be one of them where it's quite a tricky one. I don't think they're going to do a Sunderland and go down twice. You never know. But maybe I'll move them. I'll see later on. Hull. You all. I sort of want to put Hull in mid-table as well, but I'm feeling like I'm putting too many teams in mid-table. Let me, you know what? Let me not do it in order. I'm not going to do it in order. I think Baggies will. Oh, yeah, Baggies could get automatic promotion. To be honest, they could do. They've made some really good signings in the transfer window because it's between them and Swansea for me. And you can't really see Swansea there, but that is Swansea. At the minute, Swansea have had the better start to the season. They're currently, let's have a look at OneFootball. 13 points from 5 games, so I think that makes 4 wins and a draw. They've scored 11 goals, which is the most in the league at the minute, and they've conceded 4. Baggies currently have 9 points from 5, scoring 7 goals. For that reason, because it's really hard to decide between them, I'm just going to put Swansea there because they've had a better start. It's very, very early days. I think Baggies could probably... Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I don't want to ramble on. I'm going to leave it at Swansea and Fulham. We're going to go for that. So far in the playoffs, we've got Forest, Albion, but who will be joining them? One team is going to be Reading Football Club. For some reason, Reading have decided to spend money and be good, which is quite annoying, especially when they stole Puskas off us. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you steal Puskas? But they did, and to be fair, I'm judging this off the game against Cardiff that I watched. They looked unreal. I think Puskas could be a really good player in the Championship this season. He looks deadly. And I think that's what you need to get anywhere. So far, Reading have only got 7 points this season. I think their season's starting to pick up. Obviously, they took Michael Morrison off us, which is another kick in the teeth. And I think he'll be quite solid for them at the back. He's a proper leader, proper captain. And I think that is another key thing you need in your team. Obviously, they signed Zhao as well from Sheffield Wednesday and Puskas. And I just think they're going to be my sneaky... Not like a sneaky one, because they have sort of started well. They have shown that they can play football. They have spent a lot of money. I like to put a bit of a different one in there. And I think Reading is going to be that one for me. Obviously, Leeds... I think they're going to get in the playoffs. I think they're going to float nearby the automatics. Maybe go in there for a little bit, come back out of it. But it's going to be a little bit similar to last season, I think. I don't know what their goal scoring situation's like. Kemal Roop has gone. I think he went to Anderlecht, didn't he? And they're still undecided of who their best striker is. It depends whether Brentford as well can really kick on this season. He's been one of these players that's just sort of promising for a while. I don't think he'll ever be the real poacher that people want him to be. But I think they're probably maybe third, maybe fourth for Leeds. I will pick my playoff winner at the end of the video. Okay, I'll pick my playoff winner at the end. So we've got Forest and Swansea going up automatically. Cardiff and Derby to just miss out on the playoffs. Preston are looking pretty good this season, but I don't think they're going to get in the playoffs. I think they might be just outside of it. Preston are another team that have got quite a few goals this season. They've got goals in them. I just don't know if they're going to be able to... You know what, they really could. They really could sneak into the playoffs, but I'm playing it fairly safe. I think for me with Preston, I'm going to have them just to miss out on it. But they are improving. They are looking good. An interesting one for me is Stoke City, who currently sit rock bottom of the league. And it's so confusing because they have got a really solid team. I can't see them just fighting down the bottom for survival. I think they're going to finish mid-table, Stoke. I don't think they're going to get near the playoffs. I think it's going to be a fairly safe season, probably similar to last season for them. Middlesbrough, I'm going to go for just missing out on the playoffs as well. I think when you've got a son Belonga in your team, if he's fit, he's going to be scoring goals. They've started the season pretty slowly, but I've got these as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th. About 10th place for Middlesbrough, so probably underachieving for their standards, but that's where I'm going to put them. Maybe there, actually, maybe 9th. Hull City, I'm going to pop them in between Charlton and Brentford. They did look good last season. They've got a new manager, one that's, I don't think is experienced, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time for him to get across what he wants to do at the club. They have, they've still got Bowen. They've got a good team. They haven't started the season well at all. Looking at it, but I do think their season will pick up and get better. I just think it's going to be fairly mid-table for Hull this season. Luton Town look quite good. I think they're having that sort of early rush. They've got this passion about them. They've got a point to prove sort of thing with Luton. So I do rate that. I do respect that. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if they finished above Blues, to be honest. I will put them in just survive, but on this end of it, so that makes them, yeah, I'll put them on this end of it. QPR, I think they're going to have an okay season. I think it's going to be fairly mid-table. I'll put them just above Hull, to be honest. They signed some alright players in the transfer window. I think they did okay. A couple of players that we wanted as well. Naki Wells, they got him back again. I think Mark Pugh will be able to do a job for him. So yeah, I'm going to pop them. I'm going to pop them there because mid-table is getting really clogged up. I'm going to have to pop them there. Oh, who's going down? Oh my god, I've only got one for relegation. Oh wow. I think Wigan will go down as well with Barnsley. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. I'm going to be controversial in this one. Blackburn are doing well. I don't see them. I don't know. It's so tricky. Sheffield Wednesday, mid-table. Oh, no, they're looking good, man. I will put them ahead of Middlesbrough, you know. I'll put them just behind Derby County. That puts them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th place. And then finally we've got Millwall. I'm sorry if I'm not giving much of a description on these, by the way, guys. I'm just completely going with my gut and my general thoughts. I've not done a lot of research into this. Millwall, the team that took Conor Mahoney off us. Ahead of Blues. Oh, ahead of Blues? No. I'm going to put Millwall here in the mid-table column. But now I'll put them in Just Survive. But I have to decide which one of Just Survive moves down to relegation. Oh, can Luton survive the drop? If it's not Luton, who's it going to be? Could it be Huddersfield? I'm going to drop Huddersfield down here. They might find it tricky, but I don't think they're going to go down. I'm going to put Blues there. It's going to reluctantly have to be Luton. Oh, I do think they've got a grit about them this season. They've got a passion about them. They've got a way of playing. But I think Charlton are going to be the team that survive, that do okay this season. And Luton, probably just last minute heartbreak, will go down. I don't want to say it. There's quite a romance about Luton for me. They've done well today. They've done well this season. They've not cared. They've not given too much respect to teams. They've sort of gone for it, and I like it. But it's over the course of a season how things affect you. When you start to lose that buzz, you go on a bit of a losing streak. It's like where do you get the points from? I don't know, but that's what I'm going for. So my official ones are first place Fulham, then Swansea, 3rd Forest, 4th Leeds, 5th Albion, 6th Reading. Then we've got Preston, Derby, Sheffield Wednesday, Middlesbrough, Cardiff, Bristol, Brentford, QPR, Hull, Charlton, Birmingham, Huddersfield, Millwall, Stoke, Blackburn. And then the bottom 3 is Luton, Barnsley and Wigan. Bottom 3 is Luton, Wigan, Barnsley. Okay? Yes. There you go. You've got my predictions. I hope you're happy. There's not... I wish there was more I could say about it, but... I'm going to annoy so many people with this video because, like... You're going to be like, you've missed this player, you don't know about this, what's going on? Because obviously everyone knows about their own team a lot more. I can't research every single team. There are people that will. If you want someone like that, look at Stumpeg's predictions. Absolutely unreal. Go and have a look at them. But these are mine. Yes, there's been 5 games played as well, so... Alright, but you've got them now. I hope you enjoy. If you did, drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell if you haven't already, because it does mean a lot. It basically makes you aware of when I upload a video, which helps. But yeah, that's going to do it for me today. Hope you're not too annoyed with me. Hope you don't hate me. And I'll catch you in the next one.